Hello, welcome back to the Slipstream EU Twitch channel. We are bringing you the final closed qualifiers, the Fire series of the Elemental series. This will determine the final 4 teams making it into the main event, and it's going to be some incredible gameplay. We're just going to kick it off as soon as we can. I'm Cryolix and I'm here casting with Maxfish.
Yes, hello everyone. Due to some unfortunate early team joinage, we have the teams already playing. But as Krolik said, this is the final closed qualifier for the main event. Only 4 teams will make it through tonight. We had some technical difficulty with the open qualifiers. Those hopefully won't show themselves again. So we are here to enjoy a great day of Rocket League. And yeah, let's keep this going and get today started.
Just a bit back and forth between the two teams, feeling each other out in this first 30 seconds or so. Few opportunities here and there, nothing too crazy just yet. A big bump coming in. Pinch attempt.
Luxy tries to get it around. Daniel cutting it off, leaving Brucey with a bump upfield, but it's cut out easily. Daniel laying up for Astrid. Astrid getting a solo play around. Demos Brucey. Where's the third man? Is he up? No. Ad needs to stay down. But it actually goes for the challenge. Astrid hunting down Luxy, trying to get a bump or something on the players. Daniel's putting the shot in 1-0 for GOAT.
Yeah, strong start for them. Brucey attempts to make the clear, but Astrid just blocking the ball, getting a nice bounce for Daniel Cruzy. Unable to get there in time off that back post.
Now let's see if CrossFade can actually rebound from that. That's a good kickoff, but Ad is immediately on that ball. Puts it toward Luxy. Now Brucey on the ball, trying to get a flick over one. Daniel cuts it out. Only as far as Luxy though, who has control. Doesn't take his time, but there's a demo coming through and Astrid can't respawn in time, and that's the equalizer. Very aggressive play from CrossFade.
Yeah, ridiculous. They're just obliterating everyone. Demo after demo after demo. Astrid tried to get there after the respawn, but such a quick bang from Luxy just sails straight into the net. Very nice response. 20 seconds later, they have their equalizer.
Now, neutral kickoff. Daniel looking for Ed. He tries to give it back to him. Daniel getting in on the demos. Goat not looking to be the one getting demoed all the time, but also demoing themselves as Brucey booms it upfield, only as far as Ed. Luxy can cut out the clear, put some pressure on the defenders. Astrid can force the 50 to the right side as Daniel gets a big 50 upfield, follows it up. Can he put it top corner? Not quite. Ez is there for the follow-up and he puts it through 2-1 again for GOAT.
Yeah, some quick play from Daniel Cruzy on the front post there. A bit awkward. No one else back in defense. Not sure what the rotations from CrossFade are doing right now. Hopefully, it's just a bit of shakiness in their first game that will not happen again.
Another kickoff that has been deliberately lost towards one side to allow position to keep on your team. Brucey is up for a solo play, tries to get the dunk on Daniel, does so. Cruzy up, but only as far as Astrid can't put it over Luxy. Ad has full control. It's a weak touch over to Daniel as Brucey is able to cut it out. Now 2v1 for GOAT. Daniel doesn't go for the keeper, leaves Astrid to do a solo play, rather goes out towards the side, but can't get it quite back mid. Ad, now we got an empty net in front of him, but Luxy with the pre-flip somehow gets to it despite getting bumped as well. That's a close call for CrossFade, who are still struggling on defense as GOAT is mounting some pressure on the attack.
Yeah, GOAT seems to have the stronger offense this game. The CrossFade team not quite getting their rotations as smooth as they should be just now. Hopefully, as I said, a bit of nerves. Cruzy going for a little edge up, he gets the reset, but gets cleanly blocked out by the defender. Good chance for him. Couldn't quite capitalize on that one. CrossFade seem to be struggling to form offenses. They have only 3 shots to GOAT's 8.
Yeah, definitely really struggling to get out of defense, and the defensive rotation isn't as solid as it should have been up until now, as there's a demo coming through from Goat, but they're putting it off the crossbar. Astrid is up, down on the line, and Ad will put it in. That's a hard bit of work for that goal, but it's all coming down from the demo that Ad got there on the crossfade player.
Yeah, demos, big tool for opening space on the pitch, especially when this CrossFade team doesn't seem to be rotating as cleanly as they should be. One demo opens the way for them to take a 2-goal lead. There's only a minute and a half on the clock now. CrossFade don't have a huge amount of time to work with.
And there's nearly the fourth as Astrid come flying in. But now CrossFade can maybe bound an attack, but it's already cleared, and the third man is caught too far up. Ad just puts it over Brucey. And that is 4-1. I think this game is very much over now.
Yeah, I don't know. CrossFade just seemed to be getting caught out way too often. There was no third man back for them that time. Ad just sends it sailing over the defense. It's a hat trick for him, a 3-goal lead. It's doable for this CrossFade team to get 3 goals in a minute, but they really need to change the way they're playing because clearly it's not working.
Maybe this will work though, as Luxy puts it in mid for Brucey, who can't get the shot past the defender. Now Astrid transitioning, using his teammate. The pass is being cut out by Luxy. Brucey, with a bit of time on the backboard, gets a weak touch but gets the dunk immediately after, so it's not as bad. Astrid can't quite put it to Daniel, who leaves it up for Ed. He's looking for Astrid in the middle. Can he get the shot off? Yes, he can, behind the keeper. And that's good passing play from Goat there.
Oh, Lord. I mean, there's just so much going wrong here. We've got someone coming in off the front post. We've got Brucey pushed too far into the net, can't make the save. Someone else coming in off the front post. It's a complete mess for CrossFade right now. Coming into game 2, this needs to change drastically. Otherwise, it's going to be a clean sweep for Go.
Yeah, but it's only the first game in a big tournament, so the nerves are definitely slowing down CrossFade here. Maybe they can settle them down as Cruzy tries to go for a bump on Daniel, can't quite get there. Now Brucey fakes one, but there's no one from his team to follow up. Cruzy putting it back mid. Daniel equal to it, who puts it far into the CrossFade side. Now Brucey up to Cruzy, who puts it in the corner but can't get the 50 on the defender. Ad puts it over his own man. Daniel gets grounded and gets demoed, but it doesn't matter. We have the first game winner of Goat with a very convincing win in the first game.
Yeah, CrossFade just didn't seem to be able to, put any real plays together. They did find that one goal off a nice little demo, but, for the rest of the game, they seemed unable to break out of defense. They kept getting caught out, in off rotations, front post rotations going on quite a bit. They only managed to get 5 shots off, whereas Goat just constantly on the attack, creating so many opportunities. At 13 shots in total, they converted 5 of those into goals. Of course, winning by a difference of 4 goals. I mean, right now it's really looking in the side of Goat, but it's only game 1. CrossFade could just be warming up. Realistically, you should be warmed up for a series like this, but have to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one, hopefully, and they come back in game 2 a little bit stronger.
Yeah, also it's not all lost. It's not a best of 3 like it was in the open qualifier. This is a best of 5. So the first game loss doesn't necessarily break your neck here, but they have to bounce back and show a strong start to the second game. Otherwise, this could get very rough. And they're getting a good kickoff win for the first time. Now, Daniel, there's Ad over there, and all the CrossFade player upfield, but with a great save from Cruzy, who puts it over the bar. What a save. And now he tries to transition it upfield. Gets blocked by Ad. Luxy. He's pressurized by Astrid. Now Daniels rotates in. Brucey with his touch into the ceiling. That's really difficult for his teammate, but Code gets denied by both the crossbar and the post. That's incredibly lucky for CrossFade, who evade that one somehow. Now they're putting a dangerous ball in. Astrid tries to put it out. Gets denied by Luxy, who tries to get it mid, but none of his teammates were there. They didn't have the confidence in the challenge, as they're now once again forced to transition out of defense with the big booms instead of looking for the small passing plays. Daniel gets the last defender, and the aggressive play from Goat once again clearing the way.
Yeah, Cruzy he's taking such a wide rotational berth. He could have cut across the infield. He might not have made it back, but you've got to at least try and get there a lot quicker than that. especially when you've only got one man back. You need to make sure you're getting someone in to back him up. He just gets wiped out, and it's an open net for GOAT. Once again, it looks like game 2 may be a similar story, although we are seeing the CrossFade team trying to get in on the demo action themselves. Perhaps it may just be a one-off this time.
Yeah, maybe they can settle down, but it's looking very rough for them. As they'll maybe they can actually focus on offense now. As Luxy puts it towards Cruzy, who gives it back over the last defender. Brucey is coming in, but he's blocked by Astrid in a very neutral 50-50. Now getting that pass mid. And again, a third man committing, but Daniel's just quicker to him and puts it over him into the net. That's 2-0 now for GOAT.
Yeah, Ad puts it high. Brucey just gets caught on his rotation back, and the third man commit coming in from CrossFade. Quite a bad decision once again from them. I don't know what it is, but they just don't seem to be able to handle the GOAT team right now. They're just walking all over them. They're controlling the pace, the gameplay, the ball, everything.
Cruzy tries to put a solo play over all of them, but he can't quite get there. And so the night is also Brucey who tries to put it in. Now Daniel looking for Astrid. Those are the passing plays that CrossFade are struggling with, that GOAT can just string together. Now Daniel again with the 50. Now double commit into the ceiling. The defender is there though to keep it out, and Ad immediately on him, not allowing them any space to get it towards a teammate or to get it comfortably out, to maybe take a dribble, take the speed out of it. So they are really being hounded down, as now Ad puts it upfield only as far as Cruxy though. Gets it eventually to Brucey, but this pass is cut out by Daniel. He tries to get it to Ad, and now Astrid with a bit of time flicks it over one. Can he get the double? No, she can't. But Daniel now coming in with a 50 as well. Astrid gets demoed for her effort to get a 50. But Ad has a lot of time, and the boost respawns right in front of him. Sort of fortunate. And they're transitioning out of defense a lot more solidly, I would say. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken them, a bit of time to get the engine running. Perhaps, too little, too late for this game, but definitely seem to be a bit cleaner on that defensive rotation. They're able to, push themselves into the offense a bit smoother. GOAT don't seem to be walking all over them, as much, but, as I said, they still haven't been able to find the goal just yet. Cruzy with a big bang, almost taking the first one there, but Daniel ready in the defense. CrossFade's still struggling a little bit, but, things are starting to look up.
Yeah, now they're trying to get it back on the offense, but Astrid is again there to cut it out. Now Ad cuts in front of Daniel. Puts it out mid, but there's two CrossFade players, both of them committing. Now there's no one back. Maybe GOAT can get a quick attack, but the read was nearly there for Astrid. Now, can he drop it down towards Ad? Yes, she can, and Ad puts in beautiful passing play from GOAT to put them up 3-0.
Yeah, Ad straight into Astrid, bangs it down for Ad rather than going for the goal. Looks he, wasn't quite ready for it, unfortunately. Perhaps should have challenged a bit quicker, but, GOAT just taking the third goal, extending that lead as we head towards the final minute, and CrossFade just don't seem to be able to do anything in this series.
Yeah, it's really difficult against a team that just gets the passes off to one another really fast and really accurate as well. Maybe they can get something here, but Astrid is there to cut it out. Now, Luxy gets the ball off her, and Ad immediately back to Astrid, who puts it back up towards Ad. Looking for Daniel with the doink, and that's a great passing play down the field. 4-0 for GOAT. This game, I think we can say it's in the sack.
Yeah, GOAT, the play is just so clean. They never give possession away, ever. Every single pass finds its mark. There's always another player ready to receive it. It's just clean the whole way, across the pitch. They just kept the possession, the passes coming between them. They find another goal. CrossFade just getting caught out once again, unable to do anything.
Now they're in an awkward position as Daniel gives it to Ad, but then he blocks the shot, unfortunately. But Astrid is in a good position to deal with the clear coming out from CrossFade. Gets the flip reset, but is cut out by Luxy. Now Luxy gets a good 50 towards Ad, but there's no one on his team is able to follow this touch from Daniel up. Astrid puts it towards the backboard. Is the third man up? No. He is not, and Astrid gets demoed in the backfield, but it's of no use to CrossFade. They can't transition out. Their idea was correct, but they just can't transition out of defense to get something going, and as Go take the second game quite convincingly as well.
Yeah, I mean, there was a period where CrossFade seemed to be able to break up defense a little bit, but perhaps just a bit of a fluke. Goat once again, just smashing them to bits in this second game, completely controlling the speed and the possession of everything. As I said, their pass is just so accurate. They never give ball away unnecessarily. And, it just feels to me like CrossFade are about to get swept.
I mean, the reverse sweep is always an option. And it has happened quite a lot of times. Once you get the momentum going, and I think that's what's hurting CrossFit here, is that they can't get the momentum going because Goat is just doing such a stellar job of like keeping them quiet and not allowing them to have any like prolonged offense to maybe build confidence around themselves. So if Goat can keep their momentum up, I think we're looking at a sweep, but maybe CrossFade can somehow break that. Maybe a kickoff goal or quick goal in game 3 now, and they can really put up a game or a fighting performance at least towards Goat, because right now it's looking very, very desperate.
Yeah, we'll have to see. CrossFade are able to make the complete turnaround. It would require some drastic gameplay changes on their part, and I don't think it's doable. But Macfish seem to be positive for them, so maybe we will see that positivity rewarded as we head into game number 3.
And as Daniel's immediately on it, puts it to Astrid, who just puts it in, shutting down any kind of momentum that could have been gained by CrossFade. It's a weak touch from Luxy, who just gifts it to Daniel, and then there's just the pure speed from Astrid, who puts it in the net.
The GOAT team just seem to be getting faster and faster, while CrossFade just staying at their same, kind of iffy pace where they're just not doing a lot. They just get caught out in the first 11 seconds already. GOAT taking the lead once again, maintaining possession so nicely.
As Daniel transitions over to Astrid, who can't quite get the shot on target and is bumped. Now Luxy tries to get it over to Cruci, who is 50 by Ad. And Ad is again up to try to get the block in the middle, doesn't do so, and there's the punish from Luxy. The cut there needed to work, it didn't, and that results in the goal.
Yeah, it's CrossFade do able, to bring themselves back into this one. They're not letting it get away. They know that if they let the momentum get ahead of them in this third game, the series will be lost. So they need to make sure they're taking this one by storm, making sure they take every opportunity given to them.
As Ad is actually demoed by the CrossFade attacker. Now Luxy tries to get a 50 on the defender, doesn't do so. Astrid takes control, buys her teammates a lot of time. As the pinch gets to Daniel. Now Astrid whiffs the ball, just goes straight underneath. That's a bit unfortunate, but Ad is there to cover that mistake. Who can put it back, and now Cruci on the air dribble. There's a lot of control, but no teammates in support. As Ad is a bit awkward, but gets the backflip boomer over to Astrid, who misses it again, but Daniel is there for the 50. Now Luxy puts it over the other side. Astrid with the pre-flip and Daniel with the demo, but Brucey spawns right there. It's a bit of fortunate spawn there from CrossFade, but actually do get something out of it as Astrid has full control, gets the flip reset, tries to get underneath the first, doesn't do so. Ad puts a shot on target. Luxy is equal to it. Now Daniel gives the pass back to Astrid, who has control yet again, and gets a 50 yet again, but all to no avail. It is looking cleaner from CrossFade at the defense, but as that is happening, the pressure from Goat is also ramping up.
Yeah, Goat have a bit of an off phase there. The big bump comes in, and what a bump it was. The goal wide open. I think the other two players really expected Daniel to have the save there, and CrossFade are able to take the lead off a bit of a messy play, but a goal is a goal nonetheless. And they do have a chance now to maintain this lead and pull themselves back into the series.
Yeah, it was a great recovery from Brucio at the corner wall because Daniel didn't expect it. And he made his decision based on the fact that he thought, I've got time, but in fact he didn't. So that was a great pass, and then obviously the great bump. Now let's see if Goat can actually deal with being behind. That's the first time it happened this series. As Astrid puts it into the corner wall. Now Brucey gets it mid. Astrid again with a touch, and she gets it out. Now good communication is key as Luxy takes over from Brucey. There's Daniel already there, gets faked, but Ad is there to cover up. Ad putting it back pass towards Astrid. Deep by Crucy, but it's far off the goal. And they are once again, Goat are passing out of defense to get those big clears, but also get it towards a teammate to make it a bit more dangerous for the CrossFade defenders who have to pay more respect on the harder shot. As Luxy now transitions upfield, gets 50'd by Ad, and Ad continues his run. Now Astrid has Daniel in the middle to work with. Can she get the pass up? No, she opts for the shot, but Crucy is equal to it. Now Ad put it back middle to Daniel. Can he get past Luxy? No, he can't. Now a bit of breakdown of communication between Astrid and Ad is actually forced to go back. That opportunity now is wasted.
Should have been a bit of a solo play starting there, trying to get that goal. Goat do seem to be on the back foot quite a bit in this series. Still a goal behind, haven't been able to reclaim their lead, not looking as dominant as they did. Perhaps, you know, CrossFade will be able to start something here. The reverse sweep, as you said, but they will need a goal soon. They've only got a minute to score.
And they're trying their hardest to get some pressure going again. But they get 50 in the midfield. Astrid just a bit too high for Daniel. Now Luxy with a lot of space, but not a lot of boost. Gets it on target, but Astrid is already on the backboard and equal to it. As the shot comes in, now Daniel with a powerful shot. Luxy has to make the touch, does so, but it's weak into the ceiling. Brucey is there to deal with it, as he's now one-on-one versus Ad. Can't quite get the pre-flip, but gets the whiff out of Ad. As CrossFade is putting out the pressure, Luxy with a weak shot puts it to Crucy, who puts it in. I don't think actually that was a weak shot. I think that was meant to be a pass.
Yeah, I think that was 100% intended. He saw all three defenders commit, and he knew if he shot, it would probably get saved. So he just puts it softly off the post for Cruzy. With 30 seconds to go, Goat just seemed to be collapsing. You know, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe they're a team that relies on the momentum of being in the lead, but, you know, it's a completely different story than we saw in game 1 and 2. And CrossFade look like they are going to have their first game win in the series.
Yeah, we can see it here again. Astrid with a bit of an easy miss once more. Definitely relying on that momentum to carry them a bit through the series as Ant puts it back mid. Astrid misses again and puts it to Daniel, who gets a weak shot, and now the goal is open, but the shot from Brucey is wide. As they try to kill it, it's 3-1 in the game, and now 2-1 for Goat in the series. CrossFade are trying to mount a comeback here.
Yeah, it could be the beginning of something great for them, but, you know, we'll have to see. Perhaps Goat, if they get, you know, a nice early lead next game, it might be make the difference between CrossFade taking a second game and Goat just cleaning the series up before it gets any more dangerous.
I mean, game 3, when we're 2-0 up, is always a bit of a dangerous position to be in, because your mindset is like, okay, yeah, obviously I like to win this game now, and I'd like to get the sweep, but if we lose it, it's no biggie, because then we still have a game. But that allows the opponent to gain some momentum, and let's see if maybe CrossFade can actually carry that momentum into the next game. That would be very bad for Goat, who now are on the back foot and need to break that momentum as quickly as possible. Maybe with another 11-second goal, but yeah, they need to do something at the beginning of game 4 to stamp their authority on it.
Yeah, for sure. I think for CrossFade, the key is taking the lead in this next game. And don't let Goat get any of that starting momentum, which, you know, clearly they need based on what happened in this, you know, game 4. I think if they let them get the first few goals, then they're going to just take off and, you know, completely dismantle CrossFade. But we'll have to see how it goes as we get game number 4 underway.
Let's see, it's Brucey versus Daniel on the kickoff. Let's see who it bounces favorably to. Daniel definitely trying to get it back towards Ad, but Brucey actually bit of delay on the kickoff there to not get into the 50, because they've seen that they've been struggling on the kickoff, so they're opting to not just fully go for it. a smart move that can work, as Astrid puts it to Daniel. Now they're trying the passing play back, but it's just cut out by the CrossFade team. Brucey, his pass is getting cut out, and now the goal is open. Astrid can't quite get it on target. Can she get the recovery? Almost does so, and Brucey demos Daniel, who was about to turn for the ball. Brucey puts it over one. Daniel with the save, flying across net. Astrid gets a good 50 in the air. And now tries to do the exact same with Brucey. Almost does so, but it just gets slightly underneath it. It's an open start to game 4.
Yeah, very back and forth. Both teams have had opportunities in this first minute. Neither of them able to find a goal. Hard to tell who's the dominant force just yet. Daniel in a bit of an awkward spot now. Could be a goal, but he does make the recovery nicely. Go under a bit of pressure here now as the first one comes in from Cruzy. Ad unable to make the save, and CrossFade doing what they need to do, taking the lead in game 4.
Yeah, it's a bit of unfortunate there in the corner. The pinch is bouncing straight off Ad into the middle, and then it's just good play from CrossFade. Clean. They get the first shot on the backboard, and the second man, actually third man, cleans up for the goal. So that's a fairly early goal that CrossFade needed to build some momentum. Let's see if Goat maybe now can get back on the scoreboard, but both Daniel and Ed missed there, and now Daniel takes control. Tries to get it around Luxy, doesn't do so. Astrid, can she get the pass off? Not quite again. Their CrossFade are speeding up and reading those passing plays a lot better now.
Yeah, for sure. CrossFade do seem to have picked up a little bit. I think Goat may have needed to, finish this series early before they got their confidence and their momentum back. They seem to be performing a lot cleaner than they were in these earlier 2 games, and that is another goal for Luxy. Ad pushing out the side. Astrid giving possession away in the third man in. Daniel is nowhere to be seen. It's an open net.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for Goat. The rotation is being a bit too wide, a bit focused on the 100 boost from Daniel. And then it's a good shot from Luxy to put it 2-0 up. So we might potentially be looking at a game 5 if Goat can't get the shit together, and as Ad tries to put it into the backboard. The clear is only as far as Daniel, who gets it to Astrid. Astrid puts it back towards Daniel. Ad with the shot, but it's off the post. That's really close. They were really close to the 1-goal game there, but now it's still a 2-0 lead for CrossFade as Ad gets demoed for his efforts to get it upfield. Luxy puts it upfield only as far as Astrid, and Daniel gets the demo on the back line, and Astrid puts in. What a demo from Daniel. Goat up demo hungry once again.
Yeah, the return goal for Goat as Daniel just goes on a madness and takes out all the players in his sight. Maybe that's the key for Goat, just playing interference now that CrossFade seem to have their confidence back. You just need to throw them off again, make them start making those rotational errors, and find the opportunities you need to pull yourself back into the series.
Yeah, for sure. If your opponents have your read, you need to offer them you need to give them a new book to try and decipher and try to read. As Ad gets it over to Daniel, and he gets the 50 as well. Daniel just harassing the defenders at this point. Not by demoing them, but just by being constantly in their face with the 50s. But CrossFade get out of it. And once again, it's Daniel who tries to put it towards Ad. Gets cut out by Luxy. Cruzy puts it over Astrid. Daniel gets bumped, but still manages to somehow get the ball. But is 50'd by Luxy now. Ad over to Astrid. There's no defender back, although there is in Brucey. Cruzy is up on the on the side wall, makes the touch, gets it towards the backboard, but it is cut out, and Ad is up, gifting the ball away though. They can't seem to gain like proper possession on the ball as Cruzy just booms it upfield, making Daniel deal with the save. And they get the demo, now trying to fake Astrid, and does so convincingly as Brucey comes in to try to get the demo as well.
Yeah, I mean, Luxy was going for the fake, but then Brucey just wipes Astrid out, leaves the net open. 2-goal lead for CrossFade. There's a minute left, but they've just made it that bit harder for Goat to come back into this one. Leaves them with a deficit of 2. They have a minute, and based on last game, without the momentum of a few goals, the GOAT side don't seem to do too well.
Yeah, for sure. As now Brucey gets the good dunk on the defender. Luxi is up, and I think Ad might have had the clear, but is interfered by Daniel, who puts it in for the own goal, and it's 4-1 with a minute to play. Not impossible, but definitely improbable.
Yeah, just panicking on this GOAT side. Like I said, when they're down, they just seem to lose all sense of control. They forget what they're meant to be doing. They just rush at the ball, and it just lets them down, really. Especially, when you're behind, that's the most important time for staying composed. When you're ahead, it's okay to, be a bit, monkey. When you're behind, you need to make sure the rotations keep flowing, because, you can't just let yourself let more and more goals in. It's now 5-1. CrossFade just absolutely destroying this GOAT side. It's just a complete reverse into game 1 and 2, where GOAT, were 5-1ing, 4-0ing the CrossFade team, and they've just let themselves fall off completely.
And now again, Astrid as the third player is caught upfield, or too much upfield rather, but it manages to get back just in time to avoid a sixth going in. Now it's looking a bit desperate from the GOAT side. They're trying to put something on, but it's just not working or coming out as it used to. As Daniel puts it on the backboard for Astrid, who puts it in for a consolation goal, which isn't going to change much. We are going to game 5 still.
Yeah, they do get one back. Might be good for their confidence, but I don't think they can get another 3 in 22 seconds unless something crazy happens. I mean, it could be done, but, from the way they're playing right now, I don't think it will be.
Daniel taking over from Ad, trying to get that quick goal as Astrid cuts the ball out in midfield. Now Ad gets dunked by Cruci for the 6th. You're trying to build some momentum. Cruci just gets up and says no.
Yeah, that's got to be horrible for the confidence. Cruci just coming in with the pre-jump dunks the crap out of the defender. 6-2 on the scoreboard now. CrossFade just completely on it right now, looking like an extremely dominant side. Game 1 or 2, you couldn't have predicted that CrossFade would be the winners of this. Well, not winners yet, of course. There is still game 5, but the way it's going right now, GOAT just seem to have lost all sense of capability in this series. We now have a game 5, 2-2. The beginnings of the reverse from CrossFade. Will they be able to keep it up, keep this dominance up in game 5, or will GOAT finally get their rhythm back and finish off the series that was theirs just 2 games ago?
I mean, this was very much like game 1 was for GOAT, just the exact other way around. With everything working out for CrossFade, the rotation coming in, and for GOAT looking a bit sloppy, not really sure about the positioning of the third man. And it's the showing in the scoreline at the end, 6-2. That's the biggest, that's the most goals a team has scored in the entire series. So as the server goes down for maintenance, we have to quickly redo the lobby. Game 5 is getting a bit of a delay.
Yeah, classic. Psionic server issues there. Bit of a, I think the break could be good for both teams. I mean, of course, CrossFade have the momentum. They might not want to lose it, but just a bit of reset before game 5 is always good to clear the head. GOAT get a little bit of time to reset themselves. They've been panicking quite a bit in these last 2 games. They just need to reset, find their rhythm once more, and come back into this game 5 at their best form to fight for the win. This is, of course, the last chance to advance in these close qualifiers. If you lose now, you will no longer be. I think there is actually a losers bracket, but the losers bracket is a lot harder to win than the upper bracket. You need to play a lot more games, so your best chance at making it through to the main event will be at winning this series.
Yeah, now it's for all the marbles in this final game, as the kickoff is very neutral, but Luxi gets the rebound off the side wall. Now Astrid takes control, takes it a bit slow, gets 50 by Brucey, who is putting it down to Cruci. Now the Go team has a bit of time on their hands as Ad goes for a flip reset, tries to get it around, nearly does so, but a great save from Luxi coming off the back wall. But The pressure's immediately on as Astrid puts it up to Ed, but Ed just can't quite get there. Now he gets the dunk. Astrid with the pre-flip, but Brucey pre-flips earlier and gets the read. A lot of pressure from Goat coming in as they're putting the ball mid time after time. This time Astrid towards Daniel. This is looking a bit dire, but now finally CrossFade gets a looping clear out and gets some time to recover. Not a lot though, as Daniel's already on them once again. Ed putting it mid to Astrid, who misses the shot. Daniel gets a 50 once more. Now Astrid tries to get a 50 in the middle. Can't do so. Luxy puts it up towards Brucey, puts it on target, and that's a great shot from Brucey. 1-0 for CrossFade.
Yeah, Cruzy, a nice little flick, gets it past one. Luxy just bangs it straight up to Brucey. He has the perfect read, sends it under one defender. Daniel coming in, but he's just too slow to make the save. CrossFade with a great start. They look really on form. For Goat, the key now is to not let the fact that they've been scored on, take them apart. As we saw in the past 2 games, Ad with a lovely catch and roll into the net immediately gets the return goal. That's really good for them because, based on their previous games, if they let CrossFade get ahead of themselves, it's going to make them panic and play badly. So keeping up in the scoreline is essential.
Yeah, that's how you respond. You just got scored on, and you immediately get the kickoff goal to put the game back even. As Astrid as they're now again transitioning into offense. Astrid towards Ed towards Daniel. Daniel puts it behind both defenders. It's now 2-1. The game has turned in the span of like 15 seconds or so. Great response from Goat.
Yeah, Goat getting another one. Clearly that break helped them to reset. None of the panicking we saw in those last 2 games. They had taken a solid lead, or not solid, but it's a lead for sure. Hopefully they can keep it. Daniel, bit of backboard defense, making sure they keep themselves ahead. CrossFade looking to equalize it again. Plenty of time on the clock. Still anyone's game.
Now Astrid tries to get some pressure going, but it's again transition from CrossFade, and clearly the transition game from before has put some respect on those transitions because there was no one from Goat challenging anything. And what happens this is what happens, just Crucy bangs it top corner for the equalizer.
Daniel just hanging around the front post instead of rotating. The other person sees Daniel there, thinks he's going to make the save, so goes off for the corner boost. It's just pretty horrific, defensive rotation from a team of this caliber. Really needs some work coming into the rest of this game. If they let goals like that go in, they're not going to be able to keep leads. It's going to be rough.
Now they're forced onto defense again, but the transition out is good from Astrid towards Daniel. Tries to get the 50 on the defender, can't do so, but it's almost in. Bounces off the crossbar. That was really close. Now Goat can maybe capitalize on this mistake. No, the great recovery from Brucey. What a save from him as Ad puts it wide of the goal. Now Astrid gets the 50 on the offense as well. Tries to keep the pressure alive now, but Cruzy has control. Gets 50 for the ceiling 50 from Astrid. Goda trying to not let them breathe right now, but someone got demoed and the pressure is now a bit off. Astrid gets the boomer clear. Tries to get the dunk, but the shot is coming in from Luxy, only as far as Daniel though, who's going for the pass upfield. Now things calm down a bit, there's no prolonged pressure, but Brucey coming off the ceiling can't quite get the ceiling shot. There's the second attempt from Crucy, puts it in. Daniel gets it towards Ad, but it's nearly an own goal. Oh my god, as he gets around everyone, can he pinch it in? No, off the post! Oh my god, no one can seem to find the third goal.
Yeah, some real intense action going on right now. Both teams with some incredible opportunities to get one in the net, but the posts and the defenders doing their utmost to make sure no one scores. Neck and neck, a minute and a half to go. This game is all to play for right now. Probably one of the best games in the series. Goat looking to push forward again and get something started.
That is Daniel. He cuts out the clear, but it's only as far as Crucy, who puts it to Astrid. Astrid with a free boom downfield, gives up possession, and that is bouncing down. She doesn't have to read, but Ed does. Good drop, not quite in. The defender is equal to it. Daniel puts it back mid again. only hits the crossbar. That was really close. As Cruzy gets a good ball off of Astrid, and Ad doesn't get 50. Doesn't get 50, so he can put it upfield. Now Daniel with another boomer. It's not a lot of possession going on. It's a lot back and forth. Astrid, 0 boost, jumps in, gets a 50. As Ad, once again, with the boomer clear towards the opponent. Now Luxy puts it towards Crucy. Brucey's already up. Gets it on the backboard, but Ad gets a power clear on it. Astrid, can she keep control? And she doesn't get a 50. But she might be able to get the pass. No, she can't. Crucy, there's an open net. Where's Daniel been? And this is the 3-2, 19 seconds to go.
I mean, Astrid just a bit too far ahead of the play. Possession given away by Ad. Daniel nowhere to be seen on the defense. And with 20 seconds to go, CrossFade are just given a free goal by Goat. Once again, letting the panic and the nerves get the better of them.
Daniel actually got bumped there by the outgoing striker there, so good awareness from the CrossFade team to get this exit bump on the defender as Ad tries to put a shot in. It is blocked. Now Luxy transition into offense, and there's no one back from Goat. The ball bounces up. It is still alive. There's everything possible, but it hits the ground, and CrossFade actually manages to reverse sweep Goat. We did not see that coming after game 2, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, games 1 and 2, Goat just looked so solid. They were, playing excellently as a team. The rotations were clean. They rarely gave possession away. I mean, I think the key is CrossFade started playing a lot better in game 3, but it wasn't just that. I mean, the Goat team, once CrossFade started performing, just seemed to, lose all sense of their own play. They weren't keeping matches at their rhythm. They just let the pace get away from them, and they almost had it there in game 5. It was so close, but CrossFade just find the win. Once again, they were given a few easy goals off the missed rotations. Goat just, I think consistency is something they need to work on. They obviously have that lower bracket chance now, but, they have a lot more games. And if they're going to make it through that slog, they need to make sure their rotations and their consistency is just consistent throughout the entire series, not just the first 2 games.
Yeah, but they have the lower bracket now to save themselves from an early elimination. So good luck to them following this loss, and also good luck to CrossFade, who are looking up in the upper bracket as we are heading into a very, very short break before the next match starts. See you in a few